Welcome back to my channel. Dr. Kim Holdbrooks here today with 3 more tips from School Skills 101. It's free to like this video. It's free to leave a comment below. It's free to subscribe to the channel or just the playlist. You can go to the playlist at the end of this video, click on it, tap that little bell, then you'll get notifications each Thursday when we add new videos to this series. Let's get started. The first tip for today, textbook manufacturers and people who write documents that have a lot of information in there, they tend to use things to draw your attention to the important words. Sometimes they bold them, put them in big fat letters. Sometimes they italicize them, they make them slanted. Sometimes they give them a different color so that they're going to pop out. Sometimes they underline them. So when they do these types of things, try to pay attention, because the premise is the people who wrote these textbooks, they know more about this stuff than we do, right? If they've done their job correctly, they should give us an alert to things that are important. Let's see some examples. This textbook even highlights the fancy words for you. In the sentence around the fancy word, it actually gives you the definition for the word. So that is really jumping out, saying, hey, you need to know what this word means. If you're watching these videos, you should know what procrastination and distraction mean. This is a history book that's actually fairly well divided up for a history book. It has pictures with captions underneath them. It has bolded words, and when it gives you a bolded word, it has a little block of text that tells you what the bolded word means. So instead of giving the definition in the text or in the paragraph like the previous book did, this one refers you to a box on the same page, which is so convenient. You're not having to go to the back and look in a glossary. So you can see what that word or what that phrase means. And they do this throughout the book, which is very, very helpful. I wish my history book had been like that 1,000 years ago when I was taking history. Some books just don't help you out at all. Terrible. If you grow up and become a document writer or a textbook writer, don't do this. That's bad. Bad, bad, bad. So remember to check out those alert words, because they're probably pretty important. The next tip for today is a little time consuming, but if you really need to learn something, like if you're trying to read something and you really need to learn it to remember it, like if you're reading a book or a document or a web page or your own notes, this trick is really, really going to help you. And it is to read it and restate it. So you're going to read a whole bunch of stuff, and then you need to try to look away from it, and as if you were trying to summarize it for someone else, say what it means in your own words. This is like one of the #1 things that proves that you understand what you read. So if you can get in the habit of reading a paragraph and then looking away from the paragraph and saying da 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 da, these are the most important parts, your reading comprehension is going to skyrocket. What you remember is going to skyrocket too, because you're doing a trick that's, you're seeing it, you're saying it, and you're hearing it, so it's like learning it 3 times as fast. And you're going to hear me tell you that again and again and again. But reading and restating will help you. Last tip for today kind of is in line with what we talked about before, is you want to try to unlock those keywords. Not all people who write things or create documents are going to give you those alerts to the big important words, so you're going to have to kind of be on the lookout for them yourself. But let's look at some ways that you can probably do that. Here's how to use an example of looking for the weirdest letter. If your teacher gives you a word search, or if you just like doing word searches, then look for the word that has the weirdest letter in it. So that's going to be Z. There's a bunch of O's, there's a bunch of A's, a bunch of E's, because those are very common letters. So we want to look for the weirdest letter, the weirdest one. So if we're going to find a Z, there's not going to be that many Z's used in words. So we can just scan across until we find a Z, and it's going to take us a little while to come to one, right? And when we do find a Z, we're going to look around it to see if it has the E, Z-E-S, nope, not there, Z-E-S-T, and there it is. So by picking out the least common letter, scanning, and then trying to find the next letter, that's going to get you to the answers really, really faster. Some teachers like to use these just to get you familiar with the words and to help spelling, because there is a theory that word searches do acclimate students or make them familiar with the words and help them improve their spelling, because you have to find them in the correct order. So that's a way you can ace those things. Look for the weirdest letter. Like if you're going to try to find kebab, don't try to look for A's. There's a bunch of A's. There's probably going to be a bunch of B's, but you could look for the B. But definitely go for the B or the K in that one. What letter would you look for in this? What's the oddest letter? Yeah, that right there. I hope today's tips have helped. Hit that like button, leave a comment below, share this video with someone else who could benefit from these tips, because we don't have time to waste. There's a whole big world out there, lots of stuff to learn, lots of stuff to do. Faster and more efficient we can do it, more time we're going to have for fun, for happiness minutes, as Lily and Gilbert call them. You can look that up. Until next time, study smarter, not harder. Bye.